So yeah,
We all love Pretty Woman.
I
man.
know.
What do you think about the women between Nigeria and SA?
I think one thing I like. I think Nigerian women are pretty very uptight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say uptight. Then, but South African women are very down to earth.
Yeah.
And they're always ready for a good time.
Nah, bro, it's not
Guys.
that deep, man. People just like it raw, man.
Nah.
That's
Okay,
it.
funny story. Like, I'm 30. How old am I now? 37.
Yeah.
Maybe the only time I've had sex raw was in uni. Yeah.
No way.
I swear, bro. Like,
OSI.
bro, I've never treated an STD before pushing for a ban on microphones.
Yeah.
Because people are just getting mics and just saying absolute fuck all. You know, so yeah. So
Wait, a lot of people are saying it should be banned.
bruh, you just listen to this podcast and you're just like, what the fuck?
Who would you say gets more of the bitches between the three?
I'd say, well, I'll say Wiz.
Wiz.
Yeah, I'll say Wiz. You know.
Dynamite comes in small package.
I know.
Barmeni, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another special edition of Podcast and Chill. And today we have the honor of chilling with one of the biggest radio and TV personalities in Nigeria. Is there anyone bigger than you, bro? There's no one.
Well, let me just try to be modest, though.
Who's your competitor now? Like, because you're still doing breakfast.
Yeah, I'm still doing breakfast radio. Well, I'd say there are a bunch of people actually, doing big stuff.
Yeah.
There's Manny on Cool FM. Let me see. Pretty much that, though. Yeah, the guys on Cool FM, though. So yeah.
What station?
99.9. The Beats. Yes, the Beats FM. Yes.
Please welcome OSI Kena Dirusi, aka OSI Swa. Yeah, boy. Welcome. Is radio like still a big thing?
Yeah.
Because in SA it's dead, bro.
Because a lot of people actually, do not understand the concept of radio, and people always tend to look at, communication and how music is spread from their own little bubble. Because Nigeria is 36 states, and a lot of access to DSPs, rests on the infrastructure of data. You understand? So, for instance, spending, let's say, around 10 rand for like 5 gig of data, and in like 2-3 days you're done. So you have to constantly, for you to be able to get proper high-speed data on your phones, to get access to the streaming platforms and everything. So when you look at, all the states in Nigeria, in South Africa, they're called provinces.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're called states here. Not everybody has access to that much disposable income. You understand? Then at the same time, people also listen to the radio because one, is free.
Yeah.
And two, it gives, aside just the music, there's also the personality attached to it. Because when you're listening to the music on, on the DSPs or anything, there's no pre-sale, there's no information. So you have to go and find, all of that by yourself. But when you listen to the radio, you get all that information, and at the same time you get to listen to the music too as well. So radio still plays a major role in, putting out music too as well. What the DSPs have done is that it's just liberalized the market where people can be able to just get access to the music.
You've ever been fired?
Sorry?
You've ever been fired?
Fired
from the radio station?
No, not at all. I said where I'm working, I've been there like 12 years. Yeah, I think it's the longest job I've had. And
come on.
Yeah.
You're slacking, bro. Gotta get fired, man. Come on.
So it's the longest job I've had, and for someone like me, I get bored easily. So the fact that I'm still there means that I'm still enjoying it, because I say the day I wake up and I'm no longer having fun with that, I move to something else.
So how did your radio career start then?
Funny story. I was growing up as a kid, and my mom had a fancy little stereo radio. And I was, at the time, the song I was listening to that I really loved was 21 Questions. So CDs were very expensive to get. You have to keep a part of your pocket money to actually go get them. So I was trying to see what radio station was going to play. So I was tuning the radio, and I was trying to hit the record button and, record it on the tape and everything. Then I heard this guy on the radio. His name was Cyrus the Virus at the time. So, and something just caught me about his personality. It was funny, it was witty. And I was like, okay, I do this with my friends every day. So I can do what he's doing. So I was like, I didn't even know it was a daily show. So I was like, I'd listen to him next week. So that's how I grew the habit habit of listening to the radio.
Wow.
And, and that's how I just got into listening and, and everything. So before I actually said, okay, I want to be on the radio, I was a huge consumer of, the radio itself and everything. Just listening to different radio stations, had my favorites and everything.
Did you listen to anyone from SA?
Growing up, no. So the only South African station
Radio.
I consumed was Channel O. When I was growing up, so and Cabello. Yeah, huge, and he also hosted the first Big Brother Africa.
Yes,
so
yes.
I was a huge name in Nigeria, big personality. How's he though?
What about what's Kabila doing?
Yeah, what's he up to these days?
Yeah, what's he up to?
Yeah,
Hey, nobody knows, man.
Wow.
But he did radio as well. He was on 5FM. He did a lot of voiceovers.
He
was a busy guy. Man.
Very talented. Very talented. So,
what about the States? Like, were you listening to like Charlemagne?
Oh yeah.
Guys?
So back then it was a guy called Rick Dees.
Okay.
Yeah, he used to do the weekly top 40. So I used to listen to that. Then Ryan Seacrest.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of Jesus Christ. What's this guy's name? The Shock Jock. Howard Stern.
Of course.
I listened to a lot of Howard Stern.
That's our king. That's our father.
Oh yeah. So So what I just try to do is I just try to listen to different radio stations and to get to learn and also to say, oh yeah, I love what this guy is doing. I think I'm gonna try it on my show. But I think one thing that's been my major selling points, as a radio presenter is I'm very spontaneous. So I think in multiple sentences. So when I start my air check, I'm thinking 4, 5, 6 sentences ahead. I have to because I can't run the risk of stumbling or mumbling my words or anything. So I know, okay, this is where I'm going to exit.
It's the craziest thing. That's the first thing that I struggled with when I was podcasting.
Yeah.
Because when you have a radio brain, you're trained like that.
Yes.
So with podcasting, you got so much time.
I know. I have to chill.
You have to
I just relax and everything.
But if you check my very first interviews, I wasn't actually listening to the guest. I was already going. I'm 3 questions ahead. You know what I mean?
I know.
Which is a bad trait for podcasting.
So, but another thing is, I also am because of what I consume, I'm also very spontaneous. So I would say the craziest stuff. I'd say I used to make a lot of dirty jokes on the radio.
Yeah.
Back. So I started off doing the overnight. And I didn't quite like it because it was, that was when all the girls were out and where all the clubs were popping. And I was on the radio. I was like, what the fuck? But what I just did was I just tried to make it different because between midnight and 6 a.m., everybody wants slow songs. And I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
So you tune to the radio and I'm blasting jazz, and I'm asking the craziest questions. And, ladies will call and I'll be like, okay, what underwear are you putting on right now? So, I was doing all that stuff and I got into so much trouble.
Yeah.
And, so then from there, I started to, I think I've literally done every show on Beat FM. I've covered every shift.
Yeah.
Like, I think the only shift I've not done is the gospel show. So aside that, I've done everything. So, and I eventually moved to the breakfast show and, got promoted to deputy programs director, then, programs director. I think I was the youngest in the history
Shout
of the
out,
station.
man. Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Oh, thank you.
Can we get some drinks, man? I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
You got something? What's this?
Oh, that's
Do you drink? What do you want?
Anything is fine. Yeah.
What is this?
Blue Nun.
Blue Nun, what is that?
It's champagne.
Champagne.
It's champagne. It's sparkling wine, actually.
Champagne, local.
No, it's from Germany.
Oh, Germany. Okay,
yeah,
cool,
sure.
Cool.
Funny story is that all champagnes are sparkling wines, but not all sparkling wines are champagne.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
So
something about it's got to be from France. To
like the Champagne region. So
can I get a glass, man? We can't give them free advertising. Come on now. But what's the poison? What do you like? Do you like alcohol, some weed?
Funny story is, for somebody in the entertainment industry, I'm not really big on, I'm like a social drinker, I'm a social smoker too. So I think my vices are like pretty women.
Aren't they all?
Yeah, I know, man. So that's just my vice. Thank you so much. That's just my vice and everything. So yeah.
We all love pretty women.
I know.
What do you think about the women between Nigeria and SA?
I think one thing I like, I think Nigerian women are pretty, very uptight.
Yeah.
I would say uptight. But South African women are very down to earth.
Yeah.
And they're always ready for a good time.
Yeah.
I've been to South Africa like 4 times and, I had the ball every time.
Yeah.
Easy to talk to, and they don't care about, I'm going to really fancy places. Like, they don't care about bottle service. They don't care about...
Oh, see, where did you go?
I went, the last place I went to, Jesus Christ, this place in Soweto.
Yes.
Is he?
Okay, you went to the hood. Yeah, the hood is different.
It was a party that happened on a Thursday. I can't remember it right now.
But it's in Soweto, yeah?
Yeah, had a ball and everything. But I just feel like they are just easy to talk to.
Yeah, in the hood they are.
Yeah,
in the hood, it's not really about bottles.
I know. They're about, but most times when I come to SA, I'm mostly at the Da Vinci. So yeah.
Yeah, see now.
Yeah. So yeah, but I just think that they're down to earth, they're easy, like I said, easy to talk to. And if you want to fuck or anything, they are pretty straightforward. Like, okay, I'm gonna fuck you or I'm not gonna fuck you. So hey.
Well, if you got money, man, it's easy.
Really?
Yeah. I love money, man.
I know, man. I miss the times where people would just say, "Oh, I like you because you sound great on the radio."
Gone are those days,
bro. Like now, you wine and dine, go to I show up in a nice car, do all of that. Nobody gives a fuck if you're on the radio.
Nobody.
So it's crazy, man.
Craziest thing is we used to have all the groupies. I'm talking about radio guys,
bro.
Before social media.
I know, and you just call up and be like, listen, I want to play your song right now. And you go, hey Stella, I just want you to know I really care about you. I want to play you this nice song from Baby Bash, Baby You're So Fine or something. And she calls all our friends and she's like, oh, I heard, these days nobody gives a fuck.
Nobody, bro. I remember my wife, she was making it tough for me because I wanted to hit it and run.
Oh, yeah.
She was making it tough. So I'm like, fuck it. Gotta whip out the whole...
Yeah! Gotta bring out the radio!
So I dedicated a song for her during my show. And then, we're here now.
I know. You're married and everything. So how's that? How long have you been married for?
Got married last year.
Oh, really?
I've been with my partner for like 8 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, but being married, does it change anything? When you've been in that long relationship, it just seems like...
It's the same shit, bro.
Same shit every
It's
day,
more
right?
for the parents, actually.
I know.
Because like her dad now can come to our house, but before he couldn't because of, culture and stuff.
Okay.
Is it like that with Nigeria?
It's very difficult to see, parents of maybe a boyfriend or a girlfriend, going to each other's houses or anything. But they would definitely know that you're seeing someone. So, so most of the time is if I'm dating somebody, I would go to see her parents and maybe see her in the house and, the same thing. Then when you're married, they can come and, do all of that. And
what are some of the cultures, like some of the things that you guys have? Because we have lobola. I don't know if you know.
Oh, yeah, we have bride price too as well.
What's it called?
It's called a bride price.
Bride price.
Yeah, so and it varies. Different regions in the country, have different, amounts and different things. So for some people, it's as low as maybe less than R1.
Yeah.
For
a wife.
Yeah. Damn. Then for some people, for some cultures, it's a very, long list and everything. So, it just differs.
So just like in SA, you go to the families.
Same thing. You bring your people.
They negotiate.
You negotiate.
Then
and
you take her home.
Yeah, fuck her good. All that, all that good stuff. So,
divorce? How does the divorce work?
It's a very long process. Yeah, it takes almost like 3 years or 4 years.
Whoa, to divorce?
Oh, yes. Because it's still rooted in culture in a way because the courts will... from the way the law was spelt out, it's like, you have to go through a separation first. Then after the separation, then, the divorce, because they still believe that you guys might have a possibility of coming back together.
So I go to Department of Home Affairs or whatever. And I say, I want to...
Yeah, so you have to do a separation first. Then after I think 2 years, then...
So they force you to go on separation?
Oh, yes. You can't say, oh, yeah, I'm done with this. Or
yeah.
So there's like a process to like eventual divorce.
So you come back, you're like, okay, we've been separated for 2 years now. I still don't want this girl.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Jeez, that's insane, man.
So, first time I was going to SA, there's this stereotype as regards because I was like, oh my goodness, I've heard about, South African women and, the big booty and everything.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, hey, be careful, HIV and stuff and everything.
Yeah.
So, and, when I got there, it gave me a different perspective because I met a lot of young people my age who were orphans. And, when you sit down and have deeper conversations, it was more or less that, they're not orphaned by, apartheid or war or anything. They were made orphans because of HIV. Most of their parents, dying. And funny story was they were not being raised by grandparents. So it was more like grandparents being down kids than being left alone to raise, their kids, children, and everything. So, and I believe that it comes from a lot of maybe not educating the populace enough as regards, the dangers of not having safe sex and also the availability of ARVs right now. So, I think it just gave me a different, perspective.
Nah, bro, it's not that deep, man. People just like it raw, man.
Nah.
That's
Okay,
it.
funny story, I'm 30, how old am I now? 37?
Yeah.
I've maybe the only time I've had sex, bro, was in uni. Yeah.
No way.
I swear. Bro, like,
OSI.
bro, I've never treated an STD before.
Yeah.
And for some funny reason, like the concept of saying HIV fucks with me, man. Bro. So funny, let me tell you the story. Had one of those weekends, man. And girl comes over and you guys are fucking Friday, Saturday, Sunday, guys are just,
It's a maz.
Yeah. So I'm condoms and everything.
Yeah.
Then a week after, I just started having this funny breakouts.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is going on? Then you have this malaria where you take the anti-malarias and you're still feeling symptoms. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? And I pick my phone and I be like, sorry, I'm going to find this question weird. Oh, when was the last time you got tested? She's like, what the fuck? Like, how do you call me and ask me that question? I'm like, I'm sorry. I always like to overthink things. So this was like almost 10 years ago. And so then we didn't have the rapid HIV test kits in Nigeria. So when you go to test, it takes like almost 5 hours for your results to come out.
You panicking, bro.
Bro, so I was on radio that morning. So I walked, where the office is, there's a military hospital down the road. So just like 10-minute walked there, drew my blood. All through the radio, I couldn't even say anything. I was like, oh my goodness, this is it.
Bro, that's content. I would have told my audience.
Yeah, this is it. Then I go back and the doctor, brings like a long whatever.
Yeah.
And he's saying, oh, we can see. I'm like, bro, I can have cancer right now. I don't give a shit. I'll go out like a man. Am I negative or positive? And he goes, oh yeah, you're negative. I was like, yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
I'm never having sex again.
So, but I just think that, especially, let me not say especially here, but I just want a lot of women to be more conscious as regards safe sex. Because if you're with a woman, I don't know if you've noticed, and you guys have had sex 2, 3, 4 times, on the 5th time, they're not really saying use a condom. Do you understand? And in my head, and I'm like, you don't know where my dick has been. You need to protect yourself. You understand? So it's almost like they're scared more of pregnancy than actually getting an STD. Like, bro, like I've you try to hook up with somebody and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, can we get tested? Bro, I've done that.
For real?
Bro, like, and
how do you even bring that up?
See, so what I try to do is I always try to be very straightforward.
Yeah.
You understand? So I'm like, we're adults. We know what we're doing and everything. It might sound offensive, but I'm just trying to take precautions.
What did she say?
And she's like, hey, sure. No,
for real?
Yeah. Not once, not twice, not 3 times. And it's cheap now. It's less than maybe like 10 rand to get tested done.
Bro.
Send you an email and you see all of that and everything.
Do that and they say the laugh in your face, bro.
Why?
I don't know. It's like, have you guys ever done that? I've never, bro.
So, so I'm just like, because despite the fact that, like I said, there are ARVs now that you can live a normal life. But I'm just like, bruh, I'm not about to find out, bro, really. Because my doctor will tell you that, if you've gotten an STD before, that STD could have been HIV. So you need to be, yeah.
But if you look at a girl and you ask her if she's ever been tested, then probably wasn't worth it. Because if it's worth it, man, that's the last thing in your mind.
Bruh. Because, you have this post-nut clarity, to be honest, after you bust. And you're like, okay, was it worth it? So, like, I'm just like, man. So I always believe that, as an adult, just have those tough conversations.
No, it's crazy,
yeah. But how is it? But I think it's not as crazy as it used to be in SA again, like with the HIV and everything.
No. There's PrEP now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear it fucks you up though.
I've never taken it.
Okay, like you have to take it for like a month and everything, and the side effects are crazy.
Yeah, I've never taken it, but
so there's PrEP readily available.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's PrEP now.
Okay.
It's not as big as like 10 years ago.
I know.
A few years back.
Yeah.
Like it was like, oh, AIDS, hey.
Yeah, it was like, even AIDS.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah.
But anyway, I want to talk about podcasting, man. What's it like in Nigeria? Because it's starting to get momentum.
A lot of people have been pushing for a ban on microphones.
Yeah.
Because people are just getting mics and just saying absolute fuck all. So yeah. So
Wait, a lot of people are saying it should be banned.
Bruh. You just listen to this podcast and you're just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Yeah. So that's how it's been going though. I think this is the first podcast from SA that I've been on or I've watched. So how is it doing in SA?
SA is quite big, bro.
Yeah.
So obviously we leading the movement. And like a lot of other podcasts have sprung up now.
So are you guys like the biggest in SA?
Yeah.
Oh,
biggest
really?
in Africa.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, mad.
So advertisers are starting to take it seriously now.
Okay.
So it's growing. I mean, obviously, you're from a radio background. We don't
Mhm.
make as much money as radio in terms of you can have views or like a shitload of views, but
But
it doesn't correlate to
it's not
money.
translating to money. That's always been the problem.
Yes.
But I think the way people consume the media is changing.
Yeah.
You understand? So right now, advertising money is being spread across a lot of different platforms. It's going to your phones, it's going to podcasts, it's going to a lot of places. But at the same time, I keep saying that if I wasn't doing radio, I was going to do advertising. Yeah. So the ads that you're putting on other forms of media, are they converting? So that's what it is at the end of the day. So you won't just advertise because of publicity.
Of course.
You have to advertise so you can be able to convert to. So I think that's where most of these advertising agencies will also look at to say, okay, let's put our money here, let's put our money here. But at the end, by the end of the day, I believe that once you're known for what's it called right now? Maybe a lot of interesting conversations and people are watching. Yeah. So the advertising tool would actually, kick in.
So right now, who's the biggest in Nigeria?
There are a bunch. There's the Honest Bunch podcast.
Okay.
A guy called Nedu and a bunch of other people that are doing it. So I think the reason why it stands out is the kind of questions they ask and the kind of people that they bring on the podcast too as well. So
Because I don't see a lot of African podcasts on my timeline.
Oh, really? You should check them out. Honest
Yeah.
Bunch. There's I Said What I Said by two amazing ladies too. There are a lot of people doing.
So the space is still small.
It's still small. Yeah, it's still growing.
But if that problem that you were talking about, where people can't afford data in other states, I mean, in 5-10 years' time, when that gets fixed, it's gonna grow.
Yeah. So, but most of those podcasts are big in where you call urban centers, so like Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt,
Boom, boom, boom.
just places and everything. But with cheaper data and more internet penetration, you have a lot of people actually just getting on that podcast train too as well.
We've got an amazing artist from SA. She's doing crazy. Tyler.
Oh yeah,
She's amazing. She just
Don't
won
like
a
Tyler.
Grammy. Boom, boom, boom.
I don't like that. She stole our Grammy.
I wanted to get that.
Make me sweat.
What was the feeling like when she won over?
It was
Davido?
heartbreaking though.
Yeah.
Tyler is talented. I knew about Tyler like 2 years ago. She signed to Sony. So I've been getting the music, and everything. So and the amazing thing about Tyler is, you won't know she's South African until you hear her speak. That's what's so amazing about Tyler. So she has such an amazing voice, and she just embodies the music. And it's the same thing I love about South African music is one of the few genres of music. South African music as a collective, it has a lot of soul. Growing up, I listened to a lot of South African music, even Chaka Chaka, back in the day.
Hugh
And Hugh Masekela, was here for. We used to have a jazz festival and everything, so he used to come through, and everything. So,
Bro, you met you.
Huh?
You met Brayu.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's still the only African to actually have a number one on Billboard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. So at the end of the day, like I said, so it's a gospel choir. I remember as a kid, Squatter Camp. I don't know where they are now.
Yeah.
The Squatter Camp. They used to be Squatter Camp. God rest his soul, AKA. Interviewed them a couple times and everything. Casper, New Vest, Mikasa. I could just keep going. But there's something about South Africa. I love Blackie. I could just keep going on. Yeah. So there's a lot of soul in South African music, and I think the reason why your music has a lot of soul is because of the shared experiences you guys have as a people. Apartheid, and the fact that apartheid just ended literally almost like maybe like 34 years ago.
Yeah.
So somebody that was born when Nelson Mandela got out of prison is like maybe 30, 35.
Yeah.
So that means your parents actively, saw apartheid. So most of those songs were written in solidarity, or most of the music that comes out of South Africa. Trauma, you understand? So that's where you hear there's a lot of soul in South African music. That's why I love, South African music. So, and when Water came out, brilliant song. And the way it exploded in America, I was like, oh, there was a possibility that, Tyler was going to win. But huge Davido fan. I got on radio the same time he came out. So we literally grew together and everything. So I was rooting for him. And with the year before, that's 2022, he just lost his kid. It was really traumatic.
Yeah.
And he came back, brought a monster of an album. Had a fantastic run in 2023. So everything was geared towards him winning would have just been the perfect year for him. You understand? But shit happens. Congratulations to Tyler.
Has he ever won a Grammy?
Oh, David, no.
Oh, wow.
First time nominated. I got 3 nominations, but no win. So I think that, he's still a young chap. So there's a lot of, there's still opportunities for him to actually, put out great music and actually win. So I'm happy for Tyler. She's young. The new album is doing good. I love the lead single Art, which is really brilliant. Truth or Dare too as well. So at the the end of the day, it's one Africa, spirit of Ubuntu. So hey.
Yeah, man. And what's the reception like when a South African artist comes inside? Because I remember I played in Nigeria, in Abuja, a few years back. When Florida came to perform at the MTV
African Music Awards. Yeah, they stopped there. Yeah, that hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah, I'm exposing my
that's
when I came here, I was DJing, right? And I was playing like house music, and people weren't receiving it well.
Oh yeah, because Nigerians are, I won't say weird people, but I think because of everything that's going on, bad leadership, high cost of living, inflation, and everything, so they doesn't like to listen to music that they just want to dance. So with us, when we first started on the beat, Ziggs Batwini, Black Coffee, Lengoma, all those songs were staples because we used to play a lot of South African house, and everything. So, so house is not really our thing. So our sound is the traditional pop sounds, meaning something that would just make them dance, something that would just make them, have a vibe and everything. But one thing about Nigeria is that as long as the music is good, we don't give a fuck where it's coming from. The it's huge here. Yes, everybody's doing the challenge and everything.
It's called Monday to Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah, Monday to Sunday.
So yeah.
Yes. Okay, cool. So, how would you say the relationship is like between Nigerian artists and South African artists? Because there's a guy called Focalistic. I don't know if.
Oh yeah. Huge song with Davido.
Yes, right.
A bunch of other people.
100%.
One of the big songs on the continent, back in the day, Particular. Had Ice Prince and, MT had a song with Whizkid. And one of the big songs here was MacG, Rands and Naira's,
DJ Dimples.
And DJ Dimples. And there was a time where Godfather, who was a Nigerian in South Africa, was producing, like half the videos on like when you watch Nigerian television, like half the videos are shot in South Africa.
Wow.
So we've always had a unique partnership, in a way. Just always a gospel choir. I could just keep going on as regards, artists, Nigerian artists and South African artists that have always, just had that collaboration thing going on.
Because what I wanted to say is I noticed that, okay, cool.
Larry Gaga, Mikasa, yeah.
Like Focalistic was big at the time. When Gista came out, it was big. But then when he did a remix with Davido, he just shot through the roof. He became like a worldwide sensation.
Superstar, yeah.
So is that how much weight like Nigeria has?
Because when you, aside Nigeria and South Africa, the rest of Africa is still struggling to be able to have a definitive sound. Because when you go to countries like maybe Kenya, Tanzania, there's just one artist, two artists. But Nigeria, South Africa, is a bunch of superstars. That shows how strong our different genres are. How cohesive, the music that's coming out from these two regions are. So,
is it safe to say it's the link to America, Nigeria?
I wouldn't say, because for a long time we struggled. There was a time when it wasn't a cool thing to listen to Nigerian music
in America.
Here in Nigeria.
Oh, in Nigeria.
Yeah, and for Nigerian artists that were trying to make music, they used to do like cheap remixes of the popular American songs.
Wow.
Yeah, to be able to get accepted. You understand? So you go to a party, back in the day, and they could play like 50 songs and maybe just throw in one Nigerian song. Nigerian songs were not even on the radio.
Wow.
Yeah, like here and everything. So it took a while for us to be able to, just refine our sound and to be able to just get, everybody together to actually just jump on that too as well. I know it's not been the same, in South Africa. You guys have a very strong local content policy, especially on your radios and everything. So, but I would just say it's us going through that developmental phase, figuring out, what the sound is and how we can be able to just tweak the sound too as well. Then the internet penetration too as well. Because back in the day, there was an artist called Olu Menteng, and he had a song called Yawuze and everything. And he went... it was in America, performed at the show, and the then Secretary of State, which is Colin Powell, came on stage and did a dance with him and everything. But it wasn't really a big thing because we read about it in the newspaper and, a few talk about it here and there. But now you're seeing this information in real time. So just imagine if Anthony Blinken, is on stage with Rema, that would be huge. Or Hillary Clinton, or Madeleine Albright. Or you understand what I'm saying? So, so I think TikTok and, Twitter, Instagram, found a way to just connect cultures. And so everybody was seeing what was happening in real time. And the pandemic too as well. Everybody was home and, just everybody was just listening to music. So yeah,
You look at America and you see like the big three. It's what's this guy? It's Kendrick, it's
J. Cole,
J. Cole,
Drake.
and Drake.
Mhm.
Would you say in Nigeria it's Davido, Whizkid, Burna Boy?
Yeah. So, but and a lot of people will argue in what particular order.
Yeah.
You understand? But when you look at it,
What's your order? What's your order?
I would say Burna Boy, Davido, and Whiskey.
Woo!
Yeah. So, because when you look at everything that Burna Boy is doing, the arenas is selling out, the quality of the music. I've known Burna Boy for. First Burna Boy song I heard was when there's something called NYC here. Is a mandatory 1 year thing that you have to do, to serve your country. So this was like 2011. That's the first time I heard Burna Boy. And I tell people that was the best unrefined Burna Boy.
Wow.
So what you guys are listening to right now is watered down Burna Boy.
No way.
Yeah, because so it's almost like because it took Burna Boy almost like a 10-year span to actually break like internationally.
Yeah.
So he's been preparing for this moment for like 10 years.
That's crazy.
You understand? So right now he's just like, yeah, I can do it. I can do this in my sleep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That type of thing. Because when you listen to the song that he did with Dalez and AKA.
Yeah.
Bro.
Amazing.
Bro, yeah. So yeah. So his craft is second to none, to be honest. Then David who puts in a lot of work, and Whiskey too as well. So I would just rate them like that.
David is an interesting one for me because
yeah.
like his dad's rich, man. Like, why go through all this shit, bro?
Yeah, but at the same time, every man needs to find his path. You understand? Every man needs to have their story. Everybody needs to be able to figure out what is it that I'm good at, or what do I how do I want to be remembered? You understand? So I think David figured out what he wanted to do, and he's been able to just run with that. His dad being rich, I think, has been more of a curse for him too as well.
For real.
Yeah, because in Nigeria, everybody loves a rags to riches story.
Yeah.
You understand? So people think that he has a very unhealthy or it has like an advantage, over everybody else because his dad is rich and everything. So nobody actually tends to look at the fact that he actually makes great music.
Yeah.
There's a song Chelete that he did with Afiki Zolo.
Yes.
Yeah, so he also has a long history with, of collaborating with a lot of South African artists too as well. So I would just say he puts in a lot of work. He's a very hard worker.
Yeah, man, you're right, actually, because that can be a curse, bro, because people might
say,
close doors on you because like, hey, that's rich, man, you know what I mean?
Same thing that happened between AKA and Casper. AKA came from, he's colored, and, Casper is a black guy. And when you look at how they both grew up and everything, so AKA is more privileged than Casper too as well. So I think that also, the way people accepted them in South Africa too as well, where you see that Casper had more, it caused across more than AKA too as well. So.
And what about Whizkid, man? Because when I hear his songs, fucking hell, man. What's that song Drake did a remix of?
Ojo Elegba.
Aye!
Yeah. He jumped on Ojo Elegba.
Aye, that's one of my favorite songs from him, bro.
Song.
That's a brilliant song.
Yeah,
classic.
That's a classic.
What's the story with Whizkid, man?
Whizkid, same. I won't say rags to riches. Middle class family. I always knew I was going to sing. So Whizkid too has hustled. He's put in a lot of work, and I've seen. It's great to see him grow. One of the and to see everything that he's been able to achieve too as well. But right now, music is the same way. My former programs director would tell me, you're only as good as your last show on the radio.
Of course.
So people always benchmark you with your last hit.
Of course.
So I'm not saying that Whizkid is lacking hits or anything.
No, you can't say that. I mean, when was his last hit?
Yeah. But I would say he's just taking his time. Yeah, he just lost his mom. Ooh. Yeah, last year. So I think he's just going through a very rough patch right now. So he's taking his time, I'm sure, to get his head right and just jump back into the game. But for Whizkid, I think out of the three, Whizkid understands the culture.
Okay.
More. So Whizkid knows what people want to hear, and Whizkid knows how to unlock it. You understand? So Whizkid is your guy. It will give you a club song. It will put you in a party mode. So Whizkid he's in touch with the culture. He knows what's popping, and he can make a club banger, with his eyes closed. And I keep saying everything. The reason why hip hop and rap is dying as a genre is because hip hop and rap, they've lost the clubs. So once you lose the club as a genre of music, you're done.
You're done for.
Literally.
It's curtains.
Yeah, that's it.
Man, I wanted to ask you, I forgot now. Yeah. So when Whizkid does a song with Drake, like in Nigeria, is that like, wow?
Oh yeah.
Because in SA, that's like, yo, bro, you're the president.
I
now.
know. Yeah. Then after a while, when something is done for the first time, is big. One Dance was the first one. Going on the billboard and everything. Then after a while, people
Oh,
see
you
it
get
as
used to it.
people get used to it and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much that. So I think that's where we're at right now.
Jeez, imagine
So,
getting
yeah.
used to getting a cosign from Drake, bro. That's insane. Who would you say gets more of the bitches between the three?
Huh. I'd say, I'll say Wiz.
Wiz.
Yeah. I'll say Wiz.
Dynamite comes in small package.
I know. I'll say Wiz. Actually, so yeah. Burna Boy tends to keep his what's it called right now? Keep his extracurricular affairs in check.
Nah.
You never really hear anything. Except maybe Jada Kingdom, Stefflon Don, and everything. Then David is married now. Yeah, sure. So Wiz is just, Wiz.
Imagine, bro, you're an international superstar. You decide to get married, man. It's like,
man,
bro.
I'll be in bitches every day. After a while, you get tired of pussy, man.
Eh?
Do you get tired of pussy sometimes?
Yeah, I've been there, done that. That's why I got married,
Yeah.
So it's nothing phases me. Done it, been there, done it all, man.
Yeah.
Even in Africa, everywhere.
Okay.
So it's not exciting anymore.
Okay. So
It's like a Drake feature.
Really? Aye.
Let's go to piano, bro. So
Okay.
how did piano get into Nigeria,
Like
bro?
I said, though, once it's popping, Nigeria's bumped to it.
Okay.
Once it's great.
Remember, so we started it, obviously it's slower tempo, boom, boom, boom. So like when do you start hearing it in the clubs here? Like who's playing it? Like who's doing
DJs
music?
Like DJs are playing it, just adding it to their sets and everything. And it's just a very good interlude between when you go to the next song. You could just play the beat and people are bumping to it.
And with it, because the BPM here is faster. Why is that? Why is that?
Like I said, we like to dance.
Mm.
So anything that will get us bumping and everything, like we like to do it. And so Amapiano is becoming, really big. Everyone is dancing to it. So, by all means, yes. And with the artists, I even tried to do the Amapiano songs here. It doesn't sound the same.
Yes.
Like, even the Ashake song that was Amapiano, it's not Amapiano because the essence of Amapiano is the beat.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So you can't, Amapiano is not sped up. It's mellow, it's easy. It's just there for you to just enjoy and everything. So yeah, pretty much that. So I always say, just leave Amapiano for South Africans where they know how to do it best and everything. So it's like Amapiano to South Africans is like having your throat good.
Yeah.
As a guy.
Yeah.
So I'm sure every guy has a girl that knows how to suck dick. Yeah. So when you meet another girl and you're like, nah.
That's ain't it.
Nah, it's the same thing. So when you hear Amapiano that's not from South Africa, you're like, nah, that's not, pretty much. Yeah, practical example.
I wanted to ask you, why do you guys play your music, the songs? No, not faster. I get faster, it's cool. But for 10 seconds, doesn't even get to the chorus.
Which is weird. It pisses me off too sometimes. Yeah, so I don't know why.
That's insane, bro.
Because if I started to learn how to DJ, and I think, the acceptable length is the beginning of the song, like the first verse, and at least the fucking chorus.
Yeah, please.
So when I'm trying to enjoy the song and everything, you're just switching it. What the fuck? So even me, it pisses me off. I don't know why they do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do it.
It's an African thing, because when we went to Ghana, they did the same thing.
Same thing.
It's like a Shazam playlist, bro. It's insane.
It's just moving. But I think on the continent, though, you guys party the most. Party the hardest. Like, everybody's dancing in the clubs and everything. And I'm just like, okay.
Bro, we've got Muhodu Monday.
That's where I went to. I fucking swear. That's where, bro. I was there with, what's this guy's, Lucas Radebe's son? Primo,
yes,
bro,
yes,
had
yes.
a fucking ball, man. Jeez, I had a ball, man.
So we've got Muhodu Monday.
Yeah, I was there.
He's from Tembisa, so
Okay.
that's the hood.
Oh, yeah, that's where I went to.
Pizza Sunday? Pizza Tuesdays? Manglina Tuesdays? Yeah. Wednesdays? Waffle Wednesday?
Waffle Wednesdays.
Yeah, Thursdays?
Yeah.
Curry Thursdays?
Is that where Waffles got a name from? She's amazing, man. She's so amazing.
Have you ever met her?
Yeah. I think, she's been to the station a couple of times.
Yeah.
Played a couple gigs here too as well.
Yeah.
Great to look at too as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
Amazing,
man.
amazing DJ.
OSI, thank you so much for your time, man.
No problem, man.
But where do you see like the whole genre going, like the whole space, what's happening between?
So right now, I think we've plateaued in a way, because it's been Q1 in Nigeria, no hits, no big songs out. So I think we've been overstimulated. So right now, we need to go back to how we used to put out music back in the day, where an artist, if you put out 3 singles in a year, you're good. Now, if you try 3 singles, you're literally maybe trying to end your career. So we need to get to a point where we are not giving the audience too much, because when you're giving them too much, what happens right now is the songs do not last anymore.
Yeah.
So right now, if songs are barely doing a month on radio.
Nah, zero.
Do you understand? It's crazy. So then we also need the structure and the more purchasing power that South Africa has. So that's why when the international labels come, they go to South Africa and they run other territories of Africa from South Africa, because South Africa has a better collection, system. They can be able to make revenue and everything, which is what we can't, do in most parts of Africa yet. So, and for you to be able to do that, you need, stable government and also increase in disposable income, so people can be able to have extra money to be able to say, okay, I can be able to buy the music. So when international record companies are saying that they can sell music in any markets or in any region, they can pour in money too as well. So, and the only way artists can also negotiate from a position of strength is if they know that, okay, if I put out this album, I can be able to guarantee X amount of sales. Because what you're having right now is a lot of the record companies are holding this masters in perpetuity for a little as 100 grand, 200 grand, because that's the only way they can recoup to hold the masters for life. So, but if you have a country where you can, that in 2-3 years, you can sell and you can be able to recoup, then you can be able to negotiate from a position of strength, and everything, which is what South Africa has over, most parts of Africa and everything. So, like I said, we need to go back to the old ways of putting out music and also consuming the music, because right now it's almost like you're just wasting the music. And you put out a song and 2 months after, you're asking that same artist, when's the next one coming?
Bro, what happens when there's like xenophobic attacks in SA? Like, what's the temperature like this?
So the problem is, I love South Africans. I do. I think all the times I've been to South Africa, I think you guys are very hospitable. I think you guys are very understanding. And the average South African doesn't really have stress. They just want to drink their beer, go to their job.
Tuesday.
Yeah, just they're chilling. But I think xenophobia that happens in South Africa is the same way we have tribalism and religious intolerance in Nigeria. So South Africa has gone through a very rough patch. And for them, a lot of colored people in South Africa reminds you people of xenophobia. And it's crazy that, you go to a country in Africa and you have white people who are indigenous South Africans. So a lot of people do not know how deep that is. So that means the people who colonized South Africa actually made sure that even if they left, there are vestiges of their imprint on that country.
Sure.
And
because I haven't seen a white person here, bro. You guys have no white person.
We are all black. So economic power is also in the hands of the white majority in South Africa. That's why you see a stark difference between Cape Town and Johannesburg.
100%.
You understand? You see a difference between how the ANC is ruling and how is it Democratic Alliance?
DA.
The DA is ruling and everything. So after apartheid, a lot of South Africans believe that, okay, now that we have power, that means economic prosperity for us. That means better infrastructure, better paying jobs, and all of that. And, the ANC, after Nelson Mandela Thabo Mbeki, has done a very horrible job of, running South Africa. Power cuts, job losses, the devaluation of the rand against the dollar, and the fact that, most of the economic power is between the white people and the Indians too as well. So
run it back, man. Run it back, bro. You said what? You said the indigenous? What?
So a lot of the economic power is not with the indigenous people. It's with the Indians and, the white people.
No, you said something else. You said white people made sure they're an imprint. What?
Made sure that when they were leaving, they still left an imprint in South Africa.
That's
why, yeah.
Indigenous white people in the sea.
And it's weird for me every time because I'm like, you're not South African. and I'm like, so that means... Nah, bro, I'm trying as much. I'm not racist
Yeah,
or
of course,
anything.
of course.
Yeah, but because as much as we have what's it called right now, black people in a lot of European countries, but you know that when you trace their descent back, you see that they are from Africa
Congo,
or
yeah,
somewhere
yeah.
or anything. But you have indigenous white people in South Africa and Zimbabwe who are white people. So that means they've stayed there long enough and they've reproduced and had people and they're
That's
just there.
insane.
So
How did you guys get out the white people? Because
they
it seems
never.
like
So we had malaria here. So hey, and it was hot. So yeah. So they were not staying. Well, so again, South Africa, they were like, oh wow, weather is fantastic. The Cape Town is cool. I ain't going nowhere. So it was more conducive for them to stay there.
Yeah.
So after apartheid, a lot of South Africans were hoping that things were going to turn because when you read, I read a lot. So when you read about the history of South Africans and how people, they could go to the town, to the city centers to work, but they couldn't live in the city centers. They were living at the outskirts of Joburg and Cape Town.
Yeah.
And, as I don't want to go there because it makes me emotional sometimes. So after apartheid, a lot of people were expecting a lot of things to change.
Yeah.
And it was now more of the more things change, the more things stay the same. So when things like that happen, there's always going to be
disenfranchisement.
Yeah, and an opportunity for them to lash out and look for people to say, these are the cause of the problems. You understand? So when you look at the statistics or anything, Nigerians are not even the top 10 of people, top 10 immigrants in South Africa. We're a handful. We're not even up to 50,000 Nigerians in South Africa.
But those are the documented ones.
Documented ones, yes. So the last time I was in SCI, there's Hillbrow is almost in the center of Joburg.
Yes.
And is an eyesore, to be honest. And I'd also say that, a lot of my countrymen and women that are in South Africa are also doing a bad job of representing us as a country. It's not what we stand for as a country, with everything that they do. And when you're in someone else's country, you also need to respect, the people and just try to live in peace and harmony because it doesn't make any sense where they're talking about drugs and prostitution and human trafficking. And there's always a recurring decimal that, Nigerians are involved in everything. So that would also get people angry, at the same time. But when you look at everything, you need to now look at it from the holistic standpoint, meaning that if the country was working the way it was intended to, laws were being followed, there was repercussions for punishment, corruption was on the low. So whenever you commit a crime, you'd know that, the justice system will work and, the immigration system will work. I will make sure that, these people who are committing these crimes are either taken out of the country or maybe sent to prison or something. So when there are those failures or anything, people tend to, tilt towards jungle justice and try to take laws into their hands and everything. So xenophobia is a very horrible thing. I'm not, in any way saying South Africans are well within their rights to be xenophobic, but at the same time, we also need to, holistically look at, what are the undertones of xenophobia? Because in the same way in Nigeria, you see a lot of people saying, go back to your states, and everything is here. And religion, intolerance and everything.
Crazy.
So the politicians will always look for a way to be able to separate people so they can be able to keep ruling and everything. So all I would just try to say is that we need a lot of South Africans to be educated.
And come here, bro.
And
we've received nothing but love, bro.
I know, we're chilled. We don't really care. We all look the same. You understand? So I think it needs a lot more South Africans to be educated, a lot more South Africans to be tolerant. And we also need a lot of people, not just Nigerians, because xenophobia is not just meted out against Nigerians. Xenophobia is meted out towards a lot of other people, especially Zimbabweans that are coming because again, when you just look, it's almost like the average South African. When I see a lot of tweets and a lot of things going on the timeline and everything, they're tired of the system, and it's almost like nothing is working, and they can't get jobs, they can't get anything, and you just sit down and you just see people coming in taking your jobs, taking all of that or anything. So all you just do is you just look for an opportunity for you to say, okay, since the government's not doing anything for me, let me do something for myself. So at the end of the day, we've seen a lot of xenophobic attacks. The last, we have this rivalry that's going on, which is not supposed to be so. We're very cool with the Ghanaians. It's banter. Yeah, oh yeah. But when we're playing football or anything, yes, I'm like, fuck fuck you niggas and everything. So with the last AFCON, when South Africa was playing, I was like, you know what? We could lose the cup, but we have to beat South Africa or anything. So, but I feel like,
that was a great game, by the way.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Oh, man, it was
it was. You guys, your team, you played amazing football.
Yeah.
But I feel like, it's not as bad as it used to be. And I think we need to do a lot, to just educate ourselves on both sides. The Nigerians who are in South Africa, we need them to behave themselves. We need them to just respect laws. And we just need them to just show, if you were in somebody else's country, just show a bit of, what's it called right now? A bit of grit. You understand? Let people know that you're grinding from the ground up and just building something. Because we have Nigerians in the UK, we have Nigerians in the US, and everything you hear about Nigerians in these places are, they're very industrious, they're very hardworking or anything. Yeah, so why is it different when in South Africa? You understand? So we need to do that, and we also need the authorities to be able to step in and make sure that no matter who it is, if you're a Nigerian, anywhere you are, you commit a crime, you do the time. So clean up the entire system. Let people know that there are repercussions for anything illegal that you do. Be you a South African, be you a Nigerian, be you anybody. Then I think, slowly and surely, then we'll also need to educate people as regards the dangers of xenophobia, especially on the African continent. And, slowly but surely we'll build, shared brotherhood and love between, ourselves and South Africa.
Fantastic,
Yeah,
man.
sure.
OSI for president. Make some noise one more time for OSI Swerve, man.
Yeah.
Podcast and chill.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got to teach me some Nigerian slang before you leave.
No, yeah, so Kilo Shele.
What does that mean?
What's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's in Yoruba. And how far means like, hey, what's good?
Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
I want to know which one is.
What's that?
It's to pump.
To pump.
Yeah.
I see. One knock.
Wonak. That's what it is. Wonak. Wonak.
Oh no! But you just came. Have you gone out? Have you been out in Nigeria?
No. I landed yesterday, so I was tired, so I went to go sleep. But the guys went out.
How was it though?
They went to a club last night.
Yeah.
They lost their minds, bro. They haven't stopped smoking.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I have fun in South African clubs too, as well. Those big asses shaking. I'm just like. It's gonna fall. I swear it's gonna fall off. It's gonna fall off. How is she doing that? She's not supposed to be. Nah. Then even if you can, then one thing I love about you would never hear an American song in South African club. Never.
Yeah.
And I'm out on my phone shazamming because they're just, and I'm like, I've not heard this song before. It's such a jam. Yeah. Like, everybody, like, it's always a vibe, man. Always a vibe.
Man.
Let's love it.
Bro, you've interviewed some pretty big artists, man.
Yeah.
Omarion.
I think everybody big in Nigeria I've interviewed. Omarion,
the Migos,
Fabulous. Skepta, Fabulous. Everybody, man. Like a lot of people.
And how did you find that? Do they respect the interview, or they just?
Yeah. So I
African?
believe that the hallmark of a great interview is for you as an artist, first of all, to be able to research, on who you are interviewing.
Yeah.
And sometimes, when you research on who you're interviewing and you have questions down and you're having a conversation and you just veer off. Yeah. So it's your ability for you to be able to tend to understand who you're interviewing and try to make them as comfortable as possible so they don't see it as an ambush and they are open towards you, to having these conversations and everything. So that's the mentality I just go into every time, whenever I'm trying to have like an interview. I just want to get them comfortable enough and I do just ask them questions and everything and nobody's taking offense or anything. And, we just chopping it up, pretty much.
Love you long time. What's this one, man? What is it? Inak? Inak?
I want knock.
I want knock.
Why did you say to so much vim? I want knock.
Hey, man, I'm married. I haven't had something in a while. I want knock.
Oh, this will be fun. I'm looking forward to it when it comes out, though.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks
Then
so much for
the
your
last
time,
one
bro.
I did, Nasty C, when he came here, we had a very interesting interview.
That's my guy, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Great
So
guy.
talented. And so when I was looking at the comments on YouTube, a lot of South Africans, so I was using Lady Zamar as my bed.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, you're using Lady Zamar. And
It's a bit
yeah,
music,
and loads of love that, we got from South Africa and everything. You guys show your own love. Love what Casper did with fill up the venues and people were coming out. So that's why I keep saying that, like deep down, South Africans are very amazing people.
Wow,
Like they
man.
show a lot of love. They turn up. They show out. And they're hustlers too as well. So that's why it hurts me because you guys have such a beautiful country.
Yes,
Such a
it's
beautiful
amazing,
country and everything. That's why the white people are still there.
Yeah, that's why they want to leave.
No,
bro.
nah, such a beautiful country, and the load shedding breaks my heart, and the government has everything to make sure it works.
Dude.
Yeah, so maybe you guys should vote for Julius Malema. I don't know, man. You guys don't. Yeah.
Did he ever pay you?
No. But I watch a lot of your what's it called? Your parliamentary.
Yeah,
You guys are so, my goodness. You guys are funny as hell. Always fighting and everything. But I think the ANC has done almost like 30 years.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. So try something else.
Mm.
Yeah. Julius Malema was in the ANC before. So, and I guess that, a lot of South Africans have this affinity to the ANC because of Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, maybe it's what Mandela might want to as well.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah.
That's going to be a crazy time, 29th of May.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Anyway.
So you guys also won, was it a Springboks, or you guys won something recently?
The World Cup.
No, not the what. Was it
Rugby World Cup.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
But
don't have rugby here, so.
Yeah, but at that game, we had a restaurant called Coffee in Midrand. It was so packed, bro. And no one thought Bafana Bafana would get that far.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought we should have won the game against Nigeria. We had so many chances.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew
you guys
it
played
drew
a
them.
lot of technical. You guys lost. We lost the penalties, right?
Penalties, yeah. But as long as, who was your striker? As long as he was on the
Osimhen.
pitch, I knew we'll never win.
Yeah.
That guy's a fighter, bro.
I know.
That guy doesn't give up,
I know. And you guys did an amazing World Cup in 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the Vuvuzelas and everything.
Yeah.
So shout out to Rose.
Yeah.
Wherever you are right now, God bless you.
Done, bro. We out here, man. Podcast and chill. Boom, boom. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
That was
sure.
amazing. Hey,
Welcome to Black Excellence. Do not fear, for if you do, just sip on some grandeur. And if you still do, ask ourselves, what would Mapapunzi do? Parama chila, itlasha lefiki. Ungoyigi, even if when they ask you, how sabiini, do not fear. For if you do, just say, Anistivi. This is the medicine of censorship. This is the pill. Which one is that one? Podcast and chill.